Hi there, Nick from Bad Element Co. and showing you how to properly load a 100 round Super Extendo AK magazine. As you can see, I've already started filling it. The first 60 rounds or so are pretty easy, so just like any other magazine, load it up. But one thing to look out for is the spring assembly. Make sure that it's moving its way down as it's compressing, that it's not getting bunched up anywhere. That can be a problem if you're noticing it's hard to load. After a certain point, usually around 60, 70, 80 rounds, it does get a little tricky to load, but I promise you I've loaded this thing up, several times, maybe 10 times. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to get to right about 60, and then I go ahead and run my thumb around the rounds. And what I recommend is not using any lubricant like oil until you're ready to shoot. That way you can actually run your fingers along these rounds and it'll roll them, and I think that just gets them kind of moving in unison. I also avoid using anything to pry down the bullets, the cartridges, ammo. I just find using your hand, your thumbs, yeah, it can be hard. And people don't believe me when I say that. My friend tried the other day. He found out just how hard it is. But your thumbs will get stronger. I just think when you're prying on it like that, you're going to mess up the feed lips or dent the ammo maybe, or not get it to like stack right and roll down. And like I said, you can do this whole thing by hand. It's definitely doable. I'm not the strongest man in the world. I don't even play video games, so my thumbs aren't that strong. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and start loading her up. What I like to do is hook it in my arm. Kind of not too different from like, a gun. Should all be used to this. Yeah, so right now it's pretty easy. Oh, before I go any further, this is the ammo that I've been using. It's the FMJ Tula ammo. Check that out, some of the details. I get most of the stuff from Wally World. And I've shot 400 rounds in a row successfully, 4 mags worth through my Draco without a hitch so far, so most of the time this stuff's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to keep loading. I'll probably fast forward until it gets pretty tricky towards the bottom. Every once in a while you can just run your thumb along, get that track moving. It's like a train. All these rounds sliding up, maybe rolling, or moving up through the magazine. Watch that spring. Make sure your spring is not binding or stuck or being pinched, that it's compressing. Get closer. See, I'm just using my thumbs. I think a lot of it has to do with just aligning the cartridge up nice. Making sure where springs are getting compressed, that the rounds are rolling in there nice. Okay, we're about full. We still got a little bit of ways to go. A few more. Oh yeah, that's tight. I think we're about done. See, I'm still using my thumb. think I'm about full. Yep, I think that's it. Make sure to count them when we fire it off. But yeah, there it is, loaded up, nice and full. Get a nice run. Get those rounds ready to move. Okay, next step. Okay, talking about loading the extendo mag. Making sure I'm non-safe here and empty. Okay, I am. You can see I've got the blue stripe here. This is a 10% extra power recoil spring, and I got it from this bugger on the AK files, and that's what I use when I'm running an extendo mag that's over 85 rounds, so 85 up to 100. Alright, we've got the loaded magazine. I'm going to make sure that it locks into your gun all the way. Should you catch that front lug? Oops, did I not do what I did? Alright, a little awkward on the camera, but there I go. Locked in. I'm going to make sure that you're all the way locked in, that your mag release is actually all the way locked in. You've got this guy set. Okay. Alright, this last step that I do is mainly as an insurance to make sure we feed smooth, and I've done it every time on these super extendos, and they've all been firing, so I keep doing it, and I recommend it. Just give these rounds a little tiny dab of oil, not a whole lot, nothing crazy, you don't want it swimming in there. Alright, that's going to make sure that these rounds all move as one, like a train. Okay, ready to go do this. On top of wearing your basic safety gear, I highly recommend gloves because this magazine will make your gun very, very hot. Okay, so I ran this magazine 4 times now in the Draco, and I consider it, since it's all ran flawless, that's a good test. So I haven't got to play around with it yet, though. I'm new to bump firing. We're going to see if we can get this thing to bump fire. Who knows if it'll work. Lastly, when you rack this slide, bring it home, make it count. It's going to be a hard rack to push through that spring tension. The recoil spring helps, the 10% extra power, but you want to slam this thing back and let it go and give all its power forward. Alright, here we go. Having a hard time getting it to bump. Could be because of the weight distributed in this ammo. I really don't know. That's good. Maybe I just suck at bump firing. Lost my bayo. Nope, I couldn't get it to bump fire. And I beat my bayo loose. That thing's freaking hot. Alright guys, well, I don't know if it's me or the magazine. Maybe someone else can try. Better luck next time. At least she went off without a hitch. Alright. I hope this helps. Hunt Around Extendo is definitely a novelty magazine, but it's a lot of fun. All right, Nick from Battle Co. out.